What does 2024 look like for Bitcoin and crypto? We are talking karate combat. The chairman was on Joe Rogan's podcast. What does that mean for our space? Also, we're going to talk about meme coins. Solana officially passes Ethereum in DEX volume. Is Salana the real Ethereum killer? ICP has been on a massive rally. We're going to talk about that. And Franklin Templeton executive believes that Bitcoin will not only be adopted by nation states, but will also be used as a global reserve currency. We have special guest George from CryptosRUs joining us. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. We take old, boring, and stale information, repackage that thing up in a fun and sexy way. Just had a banger of a weekend. Web Influencers Awards. We had the UFC fight. We had karate combat. V-Chain was out here representing in Las Vegas. And then it was just normal Vegas weekend. Hitting up the
IFC party.
IFC. That's right. So it's been a blast, and we got to hang out with George CryptosRUs as well, and he graced us with his presence here in studio as well.
George, how you doing, man?
Doing good.
No JW Blue this time. We apologize. They were out.
Speaking of beaching.
Oh, okay.
UFC V-Chain.
Yeah. V-Chain graced me with a couple of tickets. I had a blast. 296 was so fun.
That's the one Colby Covington won, right?
Yeah.
I don't follow UFC.
No, he didn't win.
Colby Covington didn't win?
Did he win? No.
You were there. I wasn't there. So
No, I was thinking, am I confused? No, Edwards won.
Yeah. We love the fight. So I was at the IFC event, which, by the way, if you didn't know, George is pretty much the main guy who put that thing together. What an amazing event that was. I met a few people there. I met Lisa there from the community. We met Michael and Kelly, who made us that super nice sign. Robin, why don't you throw that?
Oh yeah, we got the
community
old
members
slogan here, "Hola," and then also we got the encourage the thumbs up, all glittery and glammed out. So there you go. If you guys haven't hit the like button, let's get that thing going.
And then we do have the main IFC event coming in February in the Dominican Republic. We're going to try to be there. It's going to be very interesting. Now, speaking of karate combat, the chairman was on the largest podcast in the world. And of course, I'm speaking about Joe Rogan, talking about karate combat, and not only bringing eyes and attention to karate combat, but to the world of crypto as well. Let's listen to what Joe Rogan had to say.
That's great.
So
great.
they listen to the fans. They get 10% of the fighters. And if a lot of people are betting, that could be really good for the fighters as well to get a little bit of extra dough.
I really like the idea of a token that's attached to an organization. That makes me excited about crypto tokens because look at this. Okay, all new Karate Combat app is now live. So that's a great idea. Yeah. It's a great idea also that it goes to the fighters as well, 10%. If the UFC implemented something like that, I think that would be very successful. I think it's a very, very good idea.
I think so too.
Probably one of the most unique ideas that I've heard in a long time, and implementation of crypto token that I think is fantastic. It's great.
George, how bullish are you on karate combat and what it could do for the overall space that we're in?
I think karate combat is a up and coming league, and I feel like they're starting to really gain traction and make moves. You're starting to see and hear more about them. I mean, obviously on Rogan, that's huge. But now that we have influencers also involved, we're getting involved with the IFC. I mean, they're just gaining a lot of traction. So, and plus, I was here in Vegas before the UFC fight, attending KC43. First fight I've been to, and it was just amazing. They have the pit, and we get to like stand around it, right? David, you saw that. It was just like, it's nuts to watch guys go at it. But I like where they're going. I think this is going to be huge.
There was such good fights there. There was two ladies that fought. I think that was probably my favorite.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't think of the names, but a lot of blood going on around there. So if you like a gory fight, it was intense, man. I think there was like 3 different knockouts. So I was seeing people laid out on the mat.
The thing that I get excited about with Karate Combat, they came here to Vegas, and we're the fight capital of the world. This is where Mike Tyson has fought over and over again. A majority of his fights are here. The UFC headquarters is here, so we embrace crypto coming here to Vegas because a lot of it's offshores, and any of the U.S. based crypto companies tend to be in either California or the tri-state area. So we're excited to have crypto here in Las Vegas. We're excited to have fights here in Las Vegas. It seems like a perfect partnership to me. So we want to see more Karate Combat here in Vegas as well.
George, I'm assuming this won't be the last IFC fight, right?
No,
In February.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, IFC is obviously brand new, pitting a lot of influencers, right now, crypto influencers together. And I think after his first one, seeing how it goes, there'll be more that'll be interested. And plus, we go expand outside to other influencers, which I know already there's other leagues, that does that. But we'll see. This could be huge.
The reason I ask is a two-part question. One, people are wondering, would you ever participate in an IFC fight? And two, I would like to eventually challenge Robin to an ICP fight as well. If you want to see me and Robin get in the ring together, put a 1 in the chat.
I will straight drop kick you, bro.
Are you kidding me, bro? I got like 40 pounds on you.
There's
dude.
a big height difference between you
Thank
guys.
you. And I was actually an athlete. Anyways,
When's the last time you worked out?
that's not the point we're talking about. The point we're talking about here, guys, is Salana. Okay, so yesterday, Solana's DEX volume overtook Ethereum for the first time ever. And has it happened to any other chain before? So this goes into depth. We're not going to talk about that, but I'm going to pull up where's Salana on the TVL here. Salana TVL, $1 billion. And we were talking with George prior to the show. This is an all-time high for Salana TVL on DeFi. We know the volume surpassed Ethereum, but they're still a 28x away from the total value lock that Ethereum has. But they are the fastest growing layer one in the top 50, up 84% over the last month, $1 billion. And a lot of it, guys, love it or hate it, has to do with meme coins like BONK. And it actually talks about that in this thread here. So it said BSC kind of had the same narrative as Salana right now, but without the BONK wealth effect. George, there's people in the camp that say memes take liquidity away from solid project. And there's others that say meme coins are the gateway drug in crypto that onboard a mass amount of users. Where do you stand, and what are your thoughts on memes like BONK and SNEC and Cox? Cable.
Would you like some cock in you, David?
I plead the fifth.
The answer is yes. He's holding a large amount.
Listen,
of
this isn't the Senate hearing floor here, okay? Everyone relax.
Well, yes, the latter of what you said. Memes bring a tremendous amount of attention and people and liquidity into a chain, and it's certainly happening with Salana. Why do you think DEX volume, is going up? People are trading. People are buying BONK, and it's the third largest meme right now. It's I don't think with memes, you really don't know. Like, can it blow up? Yes. And if it does, it just does a lot of good. It brings a lot of excitement to Salana. And right now, that's why we're seeing all this excitement. But it's not just Salana. It's not just memes. I know, like, real world use, like Helium right now is absolutely killing it because they launched a mobile network. So of course, Salana blowing up is not just due to one meme, but there's other projects that are coming to life, and that's why Salana is so hot right now.
Look at this, guys. The total meme coin market cap is $24 billion. $24.8 billion. Rob, what about you? I guess kind of same question. There's still so much work to be done in infrastructure and integrating blockchain and crypto with Web 2. And isn't it all this money that's flowing into these projects for people, literally it's just like a casino, as some would say? Is that really going to help us move forward, right? Build out the space?
It does bring people into the space. You can't deny it. People are going to make money. And here's the thing. You get a taste of, it's kind of like you go into Vegas, right? You get a little win on the slot machine, and then you keep playing it for 4 or 5 hours. Next thing you know, you're back into the negative. But yet you get a taste of that win, and the next thing you know, you're sitting down at the blackjack table and you're stepping up your game into a real table game, right? And so it's kind of similar here. You're getting into meme coins. You're making a quick profit on a couple projects. You probably get rugged, lose it all, and then you're like, okay, I understand how these markets work. They're cyclical. The meme coin market's just massively over leveraged or extreme volatility compared to what you get in the altcoins. And so what we see with the project that's new that came out, their airdrops, they move pretty similar in the markets as meme coins do when they come out. So you get a little practice doing it that way. I wouldn't recommend creating a portfolio. And if you do want to dabble in memes, I would get the bedrock of Bitcoin, Ethereum, or perhaps a couple of your favorite layer ones, and then allocate a small percentage, less than 5%, to speculating on some high risk plays, some meme coins, or perhaps some new projects that launch, or some small dApps or exchanges that tickle your fancy. So
Tickle your fancy.
yeah, there you go.
Okay. George, any other memes you got your eye on?
The other one is Sneck. Sneck, it's the largest on Cardano. You know, Cardano, the thing with Cardano, they're so serious, right? Like everyone's so serious. Charles is serious. Any of the Cardano guys are so serious. That's why it's so it's the irony of it, right? To have a meme to do so well. I mean, earlier this year, they shot up to the moon, and then it kind of calmed down a little bit because the market went down, and then now they're back up. And I know the Sneck guys. I talked to the team, the founding team, and they're serious Cardano people. That's what makes me believe actually in Sneck a lot, because they actually created other projects within Cardano. All they want to do is help Cardano grow. I mean, they're really passionate Cardano guys. So even though it's a meme coin, I support them because they're staying true to their vision, which is to help Cardano grow to new heights. So
That so I tend to be in. We always talk about, well, who's the government or who are you to tell me how to spend my money? So I'm not going to sit here and tell you don't invest in meme coins. Me personally, if your outlook is 10, 15, 20 years and you're more of a less aggressive investor, then yeah, probably stay away from meme coins. But if you like the rush of making money and you like playing poker, whatever the case may be, sure. And what's interesting about Sneck too is a lot of people think BONK just came out of nowhere. BONK's been around for a year, right? So has Sneck.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I do got a couple charts here, so you can take a look at the BONK chart here. Is it frozen on my side, Rocco? Oh, okay, never mind.
That's what you get for buying a Dell. Who buys a Dell? Anyways, sorry. But Sneck has recently surpassed its all-time high that it made back in June of this year, June 1st, which was at about 1.0011. Not sure what denomination that is, but there you go. So for me, it's if you're new to the space and you hear these tweets and see them, this person turned 10K into $1 million in 3 days. Guys, understand that is not common. And more than likely, they sold the money leading up to the $1 million. No, majority of people are going to hold 10K to $1 million. They're probably going to sell a little bit at 100. They'll probably sell all of it at $500,000. So don't just blindly throw money into projects, because if you look here on Dex Tools, literally every single second there is a new meme coin that is on there. If you go to live new pairs, and I'm not look, a minute ago, 8 minutes ago, 8 minutes ago, 9 minutes ago, 22 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago, and it's for every one BONK, for every one Sneck, for every one cock, there's thousands of recipients of other meme coins. Okay, let me ask you a serious question. So a lot of what drove BONK was the listing on Coinbase, right? Then it got listed on Binance. Do you really think any exchange is going to list cock in you? You think Coinbase would ever do that? Even if it's just identical to BONK's tokenomics, well, whatever, it's identical, just the name alone. You think a publicly traded company would ever, put their neck on the line?
With cock in you, it's going to be different because Coinbase only lists right now ERC20 and Salana tokens. They don't list like Avalanche tokens. So because of that alone, they're probably not going to do it. But if they ever change their policy, it will. I mean, all these exchanges, what they want,
Money.
yeah, they want money, trading volume, and they will list whatever that helps them make more money, right? But I could see if Kakenu goes up to 500 million, they can't ignore it. Binance will probably list them first, and then eventually Coinbase will think about it like, oh, okay, maybe we should list them, start going down the Avalanche route. Even if you look at like Gemini listed Pepe before anyone else. So other exchanges can list them too. It's really about the money. That's it.
You're 100% right, George. You look at BONK, 1.37 billion in trading volume. Think about the money these exchanges are making off of that trading volume. And so you're running a business, you got to make money, especially Coinbase, who has shareholders to answer to, right? Speaking of the markets, let's take a look. BTC is right under $42,000, coming in at $41,900, inching back up to that $1 trillion market cap. Yet again, Ethereum, $22.35. Tether holding steady at 99.8 cents. BNB token 242. Real quick, George, BNB. Are you touching this with a 10-foot pole?
No, unfortunately. I think Binance Smart Chain is still a fine chain. There's a lot of volume, and you still have someone like PancakeSwap that's on there that's doing very well. But because of all the Binance FUD right now, they are just so stagnant. They're being held back. Eventually, in a bull run, I think you're going to see that change. BNB traditionally has been pretty slow mover, even in the past cycles. And they're actually not that far off from their all-time high. I believe if you go all-time highs, they're only like 50% maybe. Yeah. So they didn't go down as much as others. So that's why they also have not gone up. But we'll see. I think 2025, they will pick up, even maybe in 2024.
I don't know. What do you think, Rob? I guess I'll kind of ask you the same question. Do you, would you touch BNB with
No, BNB never went into the bear market. I mean, it did sell off. I mean, in the height, it was $600 at one point during the bull market. But majority of the token trades on Binance. So it's obvious that there's market manipulation going on. I mean, I don't have the on-chain data to back it up, but it's a no-brainer, right? You have a top 10 project or top 5 project that Bitcoin sold off during the bear market and every single altcoin did as well. And you only had a minute fall down on the Binance Smart Chain token. The thing was the BNB token. Did it ever even get under $200? I think it might have got down to
That's
one.
a good question. I don't think so.
It seems, yeah, it never got under $200. So 206 is the lowest price I've seen it at. The height was $500. So it never fell more than 50% off of its all-time highs. And yeah, I guess you can round it up to maybe 60%, but never fell off of its all-time highs in the way that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the other alts did. So for me, it just goes to show you that if all of its volume is traded on its own exchange and the price never dropped with the bear market, I think it's pretty obvious that manipulation.
If you want to invest in an exchange chain, so to say, I would rather put my money in crypto.com, rather put my money in OKX. They just launched the layer 2 or layer 1. So I think there's better options. And, we've had this conversation on our live show before. Will Binance still be the number 1 exchange? I don't think so. And we're seeing that trend start to go down. The CME flip Binance on open interest, but that's more traditional versus the native crypto exchanges. But I think something like Coinbase, like OKX, some of these exchanges that don't have this black cloud over them, I do think they can potentially surpass Binance.
Real quick, I do want to give a little love to the chat, though. For those of you that are new here, I know we're streaming at a different time, so perhaps you're catching our channel, haven't seen us before. Sin City Crypto. Hit the subscribe button if you want more of this. We get guests in studio all the time. Anybody that's in Vegas that has a name here, we always invite them to come by. And some of the new people we got in the chat, we got Josh F, Into the Cosmos, Crypto S, Alexandre, Coach Chili, Through the Wire, Obese, Jer, with YM on there, Bullhorn Queenie, ICP, JT, Martin Kelly, GT, Crypto Guy, 1976. Also, we got a couple super chats. Jerome, 199, puts a thumbs up. Rich Q says George is the man for 199. And so to all of you that are new, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, we got about 30% like ratio. Means 2 out of every 3 viewers here doesn't like us.
Wow, Rocco, can we get a round of applause for math? Good job, Rob.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, David, before you move on,
Yes.
go look at on CMC. Look at exchange volume.
CME,
No, CMC.
core market cap.
Yeah, coin market cap. Look at exchanges. Yeah, look at the spot and derivative volume. You were saying that you don't think Binance goes stay at number 1.
10 billion.
Yeah, look at how far off Coinbase is from Binance.
Yeah, it's about a 10th.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're not going away anytime soon. Even though there's a lot of fun in the U.S., around the world, no one gives a shit.
Hey man, that's yeah. I'm a stats and figures type of guy, and of course, when you're making predictions into the future, you got to try to extrapolate. Yeah, I mean, no one's touching Binance right now, but I guess my question is, George, with the black eye that's been on the exchanges, whether it's FTX, whether it's Voyager, whether it's Binance, with the addition of a spot ETF, institutions coming in, we know that exchange listed EDX is what is run by some of the big banks or investment companies. You think it's just the overall crypto exchange market is going to start to dwindle down as people flight to safety to what they know, what they've known for the last 30, 40, 50 years, what's been around for 200 years, right? You think that we're going to see a move in that area? I mean, what benefit would a Binance have if you want to just buy and hold Bitcoin versus buying in a spot ETF? You're probably paying less in fees anyways.
Well, it comes down to if you believe in centralization or I mean, decentralization versus centralization, right? Buying a spot ETF, you're not holding anything. You're just holding an IOU from the fund that holds Bitcoin. So there's still a fundamental difference between buying spot ETFs versus just buying Bitcoin outright and storing it in your own wallet, which of course is decentralized and no one can take that away from you. So it really depends. I mean, institutions might not care at all. They just want exposure to Bitcoin. But for the rest of us that truly believe, yeah, there's a big difference.
You think there'll ever be a shortfall in any of these ETFs if, say, one of the hedge funds? I would put BlackRock at the bottom of the list, but there are 12 other ETF applicants. I'm just curious, what we've seen with exchanges where they file for bankruptcy and then people have lost out on their crypto, particularly Bitcoin. I wonder if this is a realistic scenario that could play out where someone that's providing the ETF could go insolvent some way or another. I mean, we see banks go under and then they get bailed out by the Fed. Now, we know the Fed's not going to bail out crypto because it's not FDIC insured, but we find ourselves in a scenario like that where not your keys, not your crypto, and then maybe it happens in TradFi.
BlackRock ain't going under, bro.
I'm not saying BlackRock. I said put them at the bottom of the list, but I'm just saying that maybe the other 11, one of them files for bankruptcy. I mean,
well, I'm sure one of the other ones will absorb, right? Happens in insurance all the time. A carrier goes down, one of the larger reinsurance companies absorb the liabilities. That's me. That's
my question. So you don't think it's a possibility that anybody would ever lose their crypto if it was being held in an ETF? If the
you don't really have the
provider,
crypto, right? Like George said, it's pretty much an IOU, right? The banknote.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting question, but obviously there's more safeguards and regulations and rules, and like you mentioned,
transparency.
Transparency, but also like you mentioned, they know if we're in a tough spot, we can go to daddy to the White House, knock on the door, and say, hey, yeah, so we need to borrow some money, and if you don't, well, we're going to crash the entire economy. So that's something crypto doesn't have in their back pocket. But George, any last comment on this topic before I move on?
No, I think, overall short term, I'll say, short term, I think we all love to have more liquidity in the space, right? And BlackRock and ARK and Invesco and all these fund managers, once they get their spot Bitcoin ETFs approved, that's what we're going to get. We're going to get massive liquidity come in, this bull run, but long term is not a good thing. Do we really want the BlackRocks of the world to start eating away at the market share and start buying up all the Bitcoin? No, right? So how we counter that is we buy more. We try to buy as much as possible so that the big boys, when they finally do come in, they can't just steal it all away, right? So that's all.
They're gonna have to rip it out of my cold dead hands.
Yes.
Hopefully I won't be dead. But some of the biggest gainers, BONK is up. Is this thing gonna slow down? Dude, this thing is up, what, 400% in like 10 days. It even led to the Salana phone being sold out because people found out that on the phone there was an airdrop of BONK tokens, and with the recent rally, those tokens were worth more than the phone, and now they're selling for as much as $5,000 on eBay. Came out at $1,000. No one bought it. Dropped it to $600.
Crazy.
No one bought it. Sold out. Reselling for $5,000. George, you have a Solana phone?
No, I was making fun of it. I was making fun of it. Like it was so stupid.
We said on stream we were gonna buy one, and then we had to spend money on some equipment that went down, so we didn't get to buy one. But I don't know.
This is nuts. It's almost like the Solana phone is an NFT, right?
Well, here's the
I
thing.
mean, think about it. Like, how many Solana phones did they produce? Probably would say, I don't know the numbers. Let's just say 100,000, right? And now 100,000 of these phones that originally sold for the mint price, quote unquote, $1,000, are now selling for 5,000. You've got a 5x on your phone. So everything in the Solana ecosystem is pumping meme coins and their phone. And so I don't know, man. I got a Solana T-shirt at home. I'm wondering if I'll go put that thing on eBay, see how much.
You know what else people are super excited about is there's speculation that not every, but there might be some airdrops in the future that if you just have a Solana phone, you'll get an airdrop. We know the Jito airdrop, which is a liquid staking protocol on Solana that launched. I think the minimum anyone got was around $3,000 to $5,000.
Okay, here's a question. Do you think that we'll get another phone from another chain? Like here's the thing.
I don't know if anyone's got the balls to do it like Solana.
Cardano partnered with some mobile networks down in Africa. I know during their was it African Summit? It was about a year and a half ago.
There's no way
they were partnering.
There's no
with
way
some mobile carriers. So obviously they have an interest in the mobile space.
You'll see an ICP phone before you see a Cardano phone.
But perhaps we get a phone on Cardano. It seems very retail driven. I tell you, that thing would sell out instantaneously.
George, please talk some sense into this, man.
I don't think Cardano.
You're stuck in the middle, whether you like it or not, on camera and. There's no way. I mean, sure, can some like obscure layer one try to launch one and garner some attention?
I swear, if Cardano comes out with a phone, I'm clipping this and I'm playing it on our intro every day for at least a month. Letting you know.
If Cardano comes out with a phone, I will buy 2 for you guys. How about
there?
that?
It is.
There it is. Yeah. Rocco, timestamp this. Josh, clip this right now, please. And another one of the bigger gainers here is ICP. We got an ICP video dropping later today. You do not want to miss it. I discussed, can he get back to $700? You want to know the answer? Watch the video. Make sure you subscribe. But that is up, doubled in 7 days, right? ICP, a lot of drama around it. Came out $700 million or $700 per token. I believe FTX or Alameda was a market maker for that one. Completely fudged it up. They got their tokens rugged. We were talking about their allocation, the token distribution prior to the show. A lot of it is either early backers, seed investors, private investors, and the team. But you have a total supply of 511 million and a circulating supply of 450 million. So a majority is already circulating, but infinite maximum supply, so they can keep printing more. George, I heard you're a big ICP fan. What are your thoughts, man? Is it getting to $700 again? Or what?
I don't know where you heard that from, but that's far from the truth. I've never liked ICP. I hated how they launched, like simultaneous launch on every single big exchange, pumped up, I think, to top 5 at one point on CMC. I know it's top 10 for sure. And then it just went downhill from there. It seems a lot more centralized than other chains. You just mentioned it, David. Like 90% was gifted basically to to the founders, the team, the treasury, the insider investors. Like, yeah, and the little I know about it, even how their wallet works, basically you're doing KYC on their wallet already just by downloading it. So
This is what George is talking about, you guys. Kind of just to give people a
yeah, I mean that's a tremendous amount of tokens given or locked by the insiders or early investors. So I've just never been a fan of ICP.
There is good news.
I do want to see where the chat stands. If you are a fan of ICP, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if I ain't touching that. And ICP is as dead as that band from back in the 90s.
Insane Clown Posse. Yeah. Interesting. I don't know, Rob. What are your thoughts?
I will say this: the ICP sticker on the back of the car, whoever's driving that thing, they always look very
Very well.
weird, like they shot
Very
on
weird.
Hot Topic. You know,
I wonder what Joe Biden thinks the price of ICP is going to be.
Over $1,300,300,000,000.
Guys, speaking of Joe Biden, I did find a clip of him when he was just a wee little baby.
yeah, supposed to be Biden.
Yeah, it's Joe Biden.
Okay.
Guys, practice early, you know.
Mm.
And then some of the other biggest gainers, guys. BitGet token is up 8.3%. Beam, George, you've talked about Beam on your show a lot. That is up 4%. Why are you so bullish on Beam?
Man, Beam. I think they're going to be one of the top chains of this cycle because they're concentrating on games. I'm not the biggest gamer, but I know games, just like memes, will draw in a ton of new users into the space, and they're leading that space right now. So, and plus they're helping Avalanche because they're a subnet on Avalanche.
That's right.
One of the reasons why Avalanche has been so hot recently too, because Beam is just killing it. If you look at their top game Shrapnel, which everyone is talking about, it's like a AAA game.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a lot of others that's coming aboard. So that's why I think Beam is going to be very, very, very strong this cycle.
I'll be honest, I haven't dug deep into Beam. I'm just taking a look at their liquidity. They're listed on Binance, PancakeSwap, Uniswap. So it looks like they're multi-chain, Gate.io, BitGet. Does it have a Coinbase listing, George? Do you know if it has got a Coinbase
No,
listing?
because they're Avalanche based. So no.
Okay.
See, here's another prediction because Coinbase wants to make money. So right now they only list ERC and Solana tokens. Wait, I think the next one will be Avalanche. There's no reason why not to launch Avalanche and Avalanche-based tokens. Then you'll have Kakinu and Beam and others. They will explode when that happens.
Okay. You know, we talk about gaming on this channel, how gaming is going to drive a huge narrative and a lot of liquidity into the market. And Beam is something that, like you mentioned, is very intriguing.
The interesting thing about game developers in the traditional format before crypto was that you needed a tremendous amount of capital plus a ton of time for you to develop the game. Most of these AAA franchises are in development for 3 to 4, sometimes to 6 years. You know, you can look at Grand Theft Auto, the newest edition. The newest game has been in production for over 5 years. It's going to be about 7 years before the next one comes out in total. And so you need a large time horizon to develop. You need a ton of capital to hire all the devs and to build it out. And you know what that sounds like? It sounds like a crypto project, right? And it seems well suited for a studio to build a game. One, you get the community, people that buy the token. They're looking at the game in development, and they speculate on what it's going to look like later. You have the capital to fund the studio because a lot of these new games that come out, or the games that are being developed, sometimes they're halfway through development, they run out of funding, and then they shut down. And so there's a big monopoly when it comes to gaming, which is centered around a handful of studios. And now I think that crypto opens a door for new game developers because you basically have an investment around the world for anybody that can simply has an internet connection to buy a token, invest in a game, hold it for 5 to 6 years because you believe in the developers and in the vision. And hey, now you have a new startup that otherwise could not get the funding for in gaming. So I think that it's well suited crypto gaming for breakout and Web3 games.
I want to kind of shift this conversation to kind of looking into 2024, right? The future of Bitcoin and crypto. We had this question from someone who follows us on Twitter. So this is from Blake Crypto Degen. Here's a curious question. What's your idea of the pullback? What will the pullback be next bear since institutional money is in 30 to 50K, 50 to 70? How much pullback with the bear market and having an institutional money, as we know? Will we never see 20 to 30K again? George, I believe on Thursday you were asked about this. What are your thoughts? And I know kind of referencing maybe super cycles, but how is the market cycle going to change once this ETF is live? Once we're 6 months in, 1 year in, people are comfortable holding Bitcoin as an asset. What are your thoughts on the cycles and looking forward?
Here's the thing, even without a spot ETF or any spot ETFs, if we were just moving along in this cycle, like all previous cycles, we should top out around 200,000, like 200, 250,000. And if you look at the pullbacks from previous cycles, they're pretty significant, but they're getting smaller and smaller. So we started with 3 cycles ago, it was like 88% down. Then it was 85% down. This last cycle, we were down 77%. So if you just okay, let's go with that trend. Let's say this next cycle, we go down 70%, right? So what's 70% off of 200,000? I think it's in the 40s. So I think this next cycle low would be probably in the 40s. But that's discounting the institutions. Now, if they're coming in and they buy shitloads of, Bitcoin, and they don't care about the 4-year cycle. They're like, hey, we're just in it. We're just go hold it, because we're all making money and we're glad to just keep on holding it. Then the cycle breaks and it could break into a super cycle where, yeah, maybe there's still a little volatility. Maybe we come down 20, 30%, but we may just skip that nasty 70% drop and we just continue upwards and keep going. And we'll still have the 4-year cycle because every 4 years we still have the halving event, which will still be significant. But yeah, there could be a chance that we don't see any more usual cycles anymore, and we start forming these newer cycles or just super cycles where we just keep on going.
Yeah, and just real quick before I throw it to Rob, you brought up a great point, George, is the traditional investor, their time horizon is not hold 2 years till the next bull market. They're investing 30, 40 years down the road. So to them, they're not looking at the day chart, the week chart, they're looking at the month chart. They're looking at the quarterly chart of Bitcoin. They're like, okay, how many more halvings? All right, 4 more halvings until I'm getting ready to retire, or whatever that number is. And that's going to help, I believe, with the, like you mentioned, the large drawdowns of 70, 80%. What are your thoughts, Rob?
Just crush this Red Bull. I'm ready, bro.
Jesus
All right,
Christ.
so I just look at price history, right? That's the simplest way for me. And until the trend is broken, I just look at historical data. You can look at the 2017 bull market. We capped out at 17, 18,000, somewhere around there. And then in the next bull run, we ran up to, was it 60 something thousand? Anyways, the pullback was the bottom was the top for the previous cycle. So 17,000 was the 2017, 2018 bull run. The bottom for this last bull market, or after the bull market, was 16, 17,000. And I think that we'll probably see something similar. If the top of the market, this last bull market was 60, was it 63,000, something like that?
69.
60 something thousand.
How do you forget that number? It's 69,000.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't you do this for a living, man?
I do. 69,000.
No, my thing is 69 is like the best number. How do you forget
So I just think that the pullback is going to fall at least in a range similar to the last bull market top. So I do think that after the next bull market, when we pull back, we'll probably fall somewhere between 50 and 70,000. That's my opinion, just off of the previous cycles, historical data.
I believe this is going to be the biggest bull run we've ever seen. Real quick, like very quickly, will we ever see 20K again? Yes or no, George?
No.
No, Robin?
No.
My answer is no. Will we ever see?
I'll say this. I think we might dip under 30, but I don't think we'll be at.
So you do think? My next question was, will we see 30 again? Robin says yes. George? Under
30. Will
like
we
in
ever
the
see-
30s
In the well,
or under 30.
between 20 and 30. Will we see that number ever again?
No.
I agree, man. I think if we see a drop from 42 under 40, you're going to get bidders. We saw that wick down to 39 too. If you get it at 36, there's going to be a crap load of bidders. 32, and then that 30 level, man. I can't. Maybe it wicks down to 29.99999, but I don't think it spends any considerable, not even an hour under 30K.
What does the chat think? If you believe that Bitcoin will never drop under 30,000, put a 1 in the chat. If you do think that we will get some kind of event that drops us under the 30K mark, put a 2 in the chat. Also, we do have a few new people here. Tyler on gaming, Crypto Crabman, Mossman, Gabrielle, CC, Airdrops, 222 Light, Asher Dude, BlackRock, Chris Simpson, and Dark NG. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If you're new here, say hello. Also, hit the subscribe button and the like button as well.
Now, this one, Franklin Templeton, Senior Vice President, foresees global adoption of Bitcoin in national treasuries. She sees global adoption by Bitcoin. She envisions a future where every national treasury will hold BTC. She observes the onset of nation states adopting Bitcoin, particularly in less developed countries, seeking a level playing field in the global economy. I 100% agree with this. Countries like El Salvador that have already done it, other countries that, look at Argentina, look who they just selected, a pro-Bitcoin guy. Look at Venezuela, when that guy is gone, who are they going to elect? Like, what do you have to lose, right? What do you have to lose, especially if El Salvador is successful in what they're doing with Bitcoin? Also, this was an intriguing one. Bitcoin is a base unit of international trade, essentially the global reserve currency. The potential for Bitcoin to be used as the base unit of international trade is a realistic prospect. She anticipates Bitcoin being used for certain types of trade, necessitating countries to hold Bitcoin reserves. Take a look at the blockchain.com. The Bitcoin blocks are completely filled. The 4 megabytes of data are completely filled. We had a block recently that had more in transaction fees than the actual block subsidy, which has never happened before. And that
Fees
is
are higher than
the fees were higher than the block reward.
Oh, than the block reward? Okay.
Correct. Block reward 6.5 or yes, 6.5, I believe. And the transaction fees were like 6.8.
Well, that's a testament to Satoshi's white paper, right? Because we have always speculated what would happen when the block rewards are essentially cut down to 0 or damn near close to it. The miners are supposed to remain profitable, secure the network off of fees alone. And so you might be mad at ordinals, but it is essentially a test case for what will happen when the rewards run out, right? And the business model works, right? I mean,
yeah, but it's also bogging the network down. It's making it slower. It's making it extremely expensive. George, with what we're seeing, and if inscriptions continue, adoption of Bitcoin continues, is there any chance, like, what does that even look like, Bitcoin as a unit of monetary or an international trade? Essentially a reserve currency.
Yeah, I think I'm not smart enough to solve this, but this or many questions like this came up during the Bitcoin conference this year. And there are some Bitcoin guys that are so afraid of this. They're like, let's just kill. Let's kill inscriptions. Let's kill ordinals. Let's kill everything because they're all spam. We don't want to even try to figure out. But vast majority of people are not like that. They're like, hey, Ethereum went through this before. They solved it. Let's try to solve it, right? It's still early. Let's try to figure out how to prevent, a ton of transactions from bogging out or killing the network, right? So I think vast majority of people are on the second, which is let's try to solve it rather than ignore it and try to kill it. So I'm hoping the community and the developers they start working at it because left unchecked like this, as ordinals get more and more popular, it will slow down the network. It will cause a ton of congestion and fees will skyrocket. This is exactly what Ethereum went through and no one liked it. To mint NFTs before on Ethereum, it went as high as like $5,000 to mint it.
And I know because I was a dumbass who paid for that. But look, this
How'd
is
that
not a
work out
joke.
for you?
This is true. Robin, shut up. Rude. George, there is.
You got so mad at me for not investing in your NFTs.
That's not-
You're like, come on, bro. telling you.
Robin's
I'm like,
scared
I'm
money.
good, man. I'm good.
George, there is a conversation around raising the block size from 4 to 6 or 8 megabytes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what that'll do is it'll make it harder to run a validator node, making the network more centralized, right?
Mhm.
Less validators, more centralization. Are you willing to give up some decentralization, make it more centralized, but make it faster, less congested, be able to do more in a block?
I don't know. This was brought up years ago. This is why we have Bitcoin Cash and BSV, because the argument was made back then, like we need bigger blocks, right? Is that the only solution? I don't know, because we have layer 2s like Lightning Network that exist. Can we have another layer 2 or something similar where it's focused just on ordinals, for example, right? Or something else? There are solutions. I just don't know what is the best case. If it's just simply raising block size will solve all of it, probably not. I mean, but again, that's why I said I'm not smart enough to solve this. We need the community to kind of put their heads together and figure it out.
Yeah, you're going to have scaling solutions on Bitcoin mature at some point, and there are multiple companies out there building right now on top of the Bitcoin network. Might not get as much press as like the Ethereum network and some of these other layer ones, but I do think this is a market that will mature. And with the current situation where hey, you can mint an ordinal and inscribe it on a Satoshi. Perhaps that transaction fee is extremely high, but there's going to be a certain market for these tokens that people are willing to pay. And so if you want cheaper NFTs, you put it on the Lightning Network, or I'm not sure if you're going to describe it on the Lightning Network, actually, but you're going to have layer 2 solutions that address NFTs and ordinals that are going to be a little bit more cost effective. No different than any other market. And so if you're out there looking for luxury goods, you can go buy a purse at the Louis Vuitton store, but you can also go buy you can also go buy a similar purse that also holds money and makeup and from Walmart. And
I think
so,
the issue,
but
I think
those are produced in a factory where they pump out hundreds of thousands of them, and then you have the handmade ones, and so it's going to be no different. You're going to have
I
a
disagree.
product that costs more, that's inscribed on the Bitcoin layer 1, that's more secure, or you can go on a scaling solution that's faster and you can produce a lot more at a cheaper rate.
It might mature to that, but I think right now the reason people are inscribing it directly on the layer 1 of Bitcoin is because it is the most decentralized, safest network
And
there.
you're paying for it.
And they're paying for it. If you're going to offload that onto a layer 2 that's more centralized,
and you want that quality leather, you got to go down to the forum shops or crystals over here in Las Vegas and get that nice
why are you
quality.
plugging crystals? They're not paying us. Guys, we're going to wrap the show up. I just want to say, we really appreciate George. He is one of the few people that every time he's in Vegas, not only does he invite us to hang out with him, invite us to events, he always comes to our studio. He always wants to collaborate with us. Amazing person in the space. He's been nothing but good to us, mentoring us, giving us tips. We were on the phone for almost an hour at 2 a.m. the other day. So this is a great man in our space. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. George, we love you. We love having you on, man. Thank you so much. Great event you put on Thursday night. I am so excited for the fight in February in the Dominican Republic. Is there anything that you would like to say to our community?
I just love the energy here. You guys are killing it. The back and forth. I love to be able to do something like this in the future, but just keep on doing what you guys are doing and you'll be just fine.
We appreciate you, my friend. Robin, anything you want to say? Oh, too late. Just kidding.
We're the quality of crypto channels.
Yeah.
We ain't the Walmart. We don't mass produce this thing. It's
Yeah.
with the crystals or
We're more like Sprouts,
fashion
real organic. Anyways.
You don't shop at Sprouts. Come on now.
Guys, I can't fathom anyone watching this, whether it's live or after. You're not subscribed to CryptosRUs, but if you're not, for the love of God, what are you doing? Go follow us on Twitter at SinCityCrypto1. Also, go follow George on Twitter at Cryptos_R_US. I hope I get that right. Either way, I didn't even tornado, man. What are you doing? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Big thank you to George and the team. We love having him on. We love you guys. Come back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time for our live show. See you later. Peace.
Everybody know what we here for. Entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.